All right, Transformers, we're live again. This is Angelo Reynolds, Senior, that is. And this is the Transformers Academy. So we've been having a blast this week. Thank you guys for all that you've done in following us on social media. We hope that the information has been vital for you in terms of your pivotal walk of success, whatever that may be, in terms of transformation. So we hope we get right back into it. And if you have inquiries about this week's transformational vitamin of it's not where you start, it's where you're going. So integral in terms of movement. And so the critical elements I gave you guys, everything is posted on YouTube, but we talk about finding that niche and finding those things to jumpstart where you left off. It's okay to have a rough start. It's okay to stop in the process, but it's not okay to give in and give up. And so many of you have found yourselves giving in and giving up. You started in the progression, you moved somewhat, and then you gave in and you gave up. I know it happens. I've given up on some things, but I asked you guys how important and how critical are those things to you to continue on. And so if you giving up something, if something that you wanted to do, many of you started the new year with resolutions, finding a way to try to get that weight loss off, get rid of those addictions, finding a new environment, writing that book, starting that company, all those things that you intended to do, but somehow now, some months into the new year, they've diminished. I know. And I don't know what your reason for giving up. I don't know why you gave up. I don't know who caused or what caused you to give in, but I'm telling you here today, it's not where you started, it's where you're progressing to it. So if you're progressing, if you're doing something, you're progressing. If you're doing nothing, you're not going to get nothing. Basic premise. And we've been following those principles at the Transformers Academy because I believe that you guys have in you the utmost challenge and strength to endure getting from one place to the next. I know. It's been daunting for you. I know. You've had some major setbacks. I know. It's been tumultuous for you. I know. And I know sometimes it seems like it's so looming to you. But guess what? If you're still moving in the progression of getting from one place to the next, you're still growing. And as long as you're doing something, you're progressing. Remember, it's not where we're starting, it's where we're intended to go. And if we're still moving, we're subject to get to what we want. You guarantee. If you're on the air and you want to add questions or you have comments, listen, I'm Angelo Reynolds, Senior. We do this daily. We come live because you guys send so much love to us. Thank you for all the hearts and all the followings on YouTube, Instagram, and all those good places where you can find a place where you too can grow spiritually, physically, emotionally, health-wise, relationships, career. Any and everything that you desire can be transformed from one place to the next. And so because I know that you guys you tune in every single day, you send all these good messages to us, I know that you still have that niche of desperation in terms of gaining what you want. If you're on the air now and there's something that you have given up, but you still have it in the back of your mind, I'm here to tell you, you still can get those things. And it's still within your hands reach, but don't give in and don't give up. This week, it's not where you start, it's where you're going. Many of you have heard my story in terms of some of the pitfalls I've had over the years with the conviction I had, the alcohol abuse, the alcoholism, the drinking, and all that stuff that sort of became self-destructive behavior for me. And so I don't know if you had some addictions. I don't know if you've been on drugs or alcohol. I don't know if you've been to prison. Whatever your situation has been, there is a remedy. And you have that key and that switch to begin to use some of those God-given talents that you've had. You set them down. You walk past that stand every single day. You walk past that computer and you don't write a page of that New York Times bestseller book that you have in your mind. You're talking about this blueprint that you have, this great idea. It doesn't have to be the next Facebook, the next Twitter, the next Instagram, but it has to be something that you want to do, something that you're passionate about, and something that has been on your heart. Have you ever gone to bed over and over and over again, or awakened in the middle of the night and was thinking about something and it just resonated with you? Thank you for all the hearts. Awesome to you too. And you just couldn't get it off your mind. That is that lingering thing that you need to complete. You know what I'm talking about, those sleepless nights where you toss and turn, and all you can think about is that one thing that you began and you never completed. Well, why not complete it? Listen, I started many of things and didn't complete. In fact, I think everything thus far in my life has taken me at least 2 times to get to, including marriage. I'm not embarrassed to say that, but I am in a way that is not boastful to you, but encouraging to you to make sure that your walk begins with you, and your steps that you take are insurmountable. The steps that you take or take you to places of no avail, but you got to do something. If you're on the air now, thank you for all that love. Thank you for all that love. If you're on the air now and you've ever wanted to do something, let's start today. Listen, guys, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, all those places. We did a Instagram live. You know, I'm getting this social media stuff down, but go to DrAngeloReynolds.com and find out how you can become a transformer. Hey, listen, you're looking at a guy who began from very humble beginnings, little or nothing, single mom, in the projects, all those social factors that was destined me for doomness, if you will. But some kind of way, because of the willingness that I had and my desire, and through his grace, I was able to halfway be something. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you for coming on the air. Thank you for all your insight. But this week, I gave you 3 things that if you wrote them down, I'm hoping that you did, but go to the videos. If you didn't write them down, why should you start and get to full fruition and completion? Because many times we have rough starts. Generally, everything begins with a rough start, especially if it's something new, change, all those things begin with something, some kind of struggle. And then later on, we discover that these qualities of perseverance, endurance, discipline, focus, they come out of us. We had them in us, and then they just sort of come out, because those are the social ills that you have to overcome those challenges and obstacles. And then finally, never giving in and never giving up. Guys, you got to hear my story about not being able to be employed for 6 years, of having a felony conviction, having spent time in prison, having not been able to get a job and no money for 6 straight years until the conviction was finally diminished. We got to talk about those things, because one time I couldn't even talk about them, but I talk about them today because I'm here to encourage you. I don't know where you are, but I know where you can go. And how about that? How about baby of the family just joined? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're on the air, we're talking about it's not where you start, it's where you're going, and more importantly, the completion of your journey. What is my job? I am a transformer. I am a speaker. I am a writer. I have 2 books. Hello to you too. I am a person who helps people to become inspired and empowered through words and inspiration. And my words alone are not just enough, but I want to share some time with you. You guys have been wonderful on social media. I enjoyed all of your company. Hello, Assassin Eyes 47. This is great. Thank you. You're great. You're wonderful. And you guys are what keeps the Transformers Academy going. This is great, and you're great. And don't forget that. And don't forget, when you get off this broadcast, think to yourself, what is it that I've begun that I have not finished? What have I started that I put down? And my start was rough, and so I didn't complete it. That's where we are this week, and that's what's important. I've had many things that I began, but I just didn't finish until I really decided that it was going to come to full fruition. And we'll talk tomorrow about all the sacrifices, all the things that we have to commit to in the dedication and time of sacrifice to get from one place to the next. Okay, any questions or comments? I'm on the air. If you have specific things, Doctor of Medicine. No, I'm a PhD. I have a doctorate in education. I have a master's degree in psychology. I was a psychologist by education and training, but just writing materials. I got 2 books, Overcoming Obstacles, Beating the Odds, and The Act of Change. Go to the website. I'll be glad to send a copy of those books of your choice and find out how you can become a transformer. Thank you for the blue, purple hearts. Those are my favorite. Just the comfort of having you guys on. You just don't know what those hearts and your responses really mean to us. All right, so I'll close out there. Thank you again. Thank you for your time. I am Angelo Reynolds, Senior, that is. This is the Transformers Academy, and catch me at DrAngeloReynolds.com. We'll be back on the air tomorrow. Think about what I said tonight. It's not where you start, it's where you're going. You take care too. Have a good evening. Take care.